Good afternoon, YouTube. Thought I'd make a helpful video on the oil filter lines for your ecoboost turbo. I got most of my parts back already in. I've had the dreaded manifold leak, except it's on the driver's side, not this passenger side. But if you got the parts and you got the time, you might as well do them both. So thought I'd make a helpful video because I couldn't find anything on it. Your inline oil filter fitting here, to remove your coolant line and your oil line to your turbo, you have to remove this screw. To get that screw backed out all the way, you at least have to loosen up your AC compressor. You do not have to vacuum it. You do not have to drain the coolant from it. All you have to do, loosen up 3 10mm bolts and back them all the way out. Your AC compressor has flexible lines over here. It will move out of the way. I didn't even remove the belt. My belt is still hanging on the pulley over here. So once you get the AC compressor out of the way, it's really simple. It's not that hard. You back out the bolts all the way, you grab the thing, pull it off that fitting and that fitting. So just pull it straight out, push it over. It's really simple. 10mm bolts, not a problem. Nothing's gonna leak because you haven't messed with the your pipes here that go out to the condensing unit. So it's a really simple job. If you've already gone through removing the turbo, possibly removing the turbo coolant lines, which one is back here. Here's your other fitting for your turbo coolant. If you've gone through that, which you should, the last thing you want is either of those fittings to leak, and then you have to rip this whole turbo back out. If you're going to do that, please change out your inline oil fitting line. If it gets clogged, it's going to starve your turbo of oil, and they say all it takes is about 5 seconds. Here's the old one. Fortunately, mine was fairly clean. I saw a few metal shavings on it. To remove it out of there, it is just a 12mm Allen socket. I did have to buy that one. It was 15 bucks for a 3-pack. That included some other sizes, but go ahead and change that out. Real simple to remove the oil coolant or oil line. T40 down here that holds that in, which this fitting was a lot harder to work out. A lot of crusty goop on the end of that pipe. Once you get that T40 out, just wobble it around, work it around, and it will slowly back out, and you can replace the blue O-ring that's on the end of that tube inside the engine block. And then, like I said, back that out with that 12mm Allen, and it's real simple to take out. Buy a new one, put it back in, clean up your ends with some steel wool. I've already cleaned this up with some steel wool, and your other end of your coolant line, your oil lines, clean everything up with some steel wool, get the old crusties off. Hopefully that O-ring makes good fittings or good solid connections inside your turbo there. And I've yet to put in the new coolant line coming back out, but that's where we're getting. So yeah, remove that AC compressor, push it out of your way. It's real flexible. You're good to go. Hope that helps.